Big-time nighttime pools and great racing always at Los Alamitos, with huge early pick four pools at the track of sunsets and stars, with 187,000 on March 15th and a late pick four pool of nearly 160,000. Our pick six pool on Sunday, April 19th, was nearly 140,000. Don't miss our first futurity final of the meet, the Robert A. Dare Kindergarten Futurity on Sunday, May 10th. Big-time nighttime pools and great racing always at Los Alamitos.
Well, welcome everyone to the Los Alamitos preview show. Well, if you like two-year-old racing, you've come to the right place because we have a lot more races for juveniles this weekend here at Los Alamitos. Next Sunday, we have the running of the Robert Adair Kindergarten Futurity. But of course, this week it's all about the three-year-olds nationally with the Kentucky Derby, the Kentucky Oaks. We have the La Pacifica Handicap for three-year-old fillies here at Los Alamitos. Happy to be joined by Michael Wrona and Chris Wade. George Duarte is not able to join us because earlier today he qualified to a handicapping contest for tomorrow. So he's very, very busy working on the racing program for Sunday, getting ready to play that handicapping tournament. So we wish George a lot of luck on that. But Michael, Chris, how are you guys? Start with Michael.
Oh, I'm fine. Congratulations to George, and hope there's bigger congratulations to come the other side of this handicapping tournament that he'll be embroiled in. And I'm still on a high from the Cattail Cove victory in the Kaweah Bar, Orlando. I told you on the preview show last week, it put a smile on my face just seeing him in the entries. Imagine how broad that smile was announcing him into the winner's circle.
That's for sure. So I am gonna play an interview with Link Newcomb in just a second. Chris, how are you?
Doing well. And that was a great interview there, Orlando. He said he was in the paddock feeling like a young 7-year-old. It was a great comment for that monster horse. He has a heart as big as a track and gives you 100% every single time. He's an 8-year-old, and what a runner.
Yeah, he was the Kaweah Bar Handicap by a slim margin, but nevertheless, what a tremendous performer this 9-year-old is. Here's Link Newcomb talk about his once-in-a-lifetime horse, Cattail Cove.
Here you are, Link, holding the trophy for the Kaweah Bar. Tell me how special this is.
It's unbelievable. You know, you don't ever really know when you're starting it. I've of course never started a 9-year-old, and you don't really know what you're going to get. But like I said, in the paddock, his coat and his eyes and everything, he looked as young as a 7-year-old. So I mean, I couldn't have been any happier. Thrilled. The jockey did a great job, and it's amazing that Juan said he's never had a horse in his barn for so many years. It's pretty wild.
Now remember that we were celebrating his 50th career start. This is now his 61st career start. No signs of slowing down. He gets another stakes win here. What's next for this horse?
Well, we paid him late into the vessel's maturity, so that'll probably be that'll be next.
That has to be just such a thrill for an owner to be in the winner's circle celebrating a stakes win number 9 for a horse that he's been campaigning since 2019. And the horse, the whole entire life, 61 starts every race, competing at the top level. And I was kind of joking with him. I'm like, 70 starts maybe for a Cattail Cove. We're going to be celebrating his 70th outing, maybe next year as he turned 10-year-old or what have you. And he, of course, I was joking. He just said, I'm just enjoying one race at a time. Just let him have fun. He's loving what he's doing. And sure enough, Cattail Cove just continues to amaze all of us. What a
and he has a nephew. His nephew's running this weekend, Cattail Coast. And Juan has Cattail Coast in the box right next door to the old fella, Cattail Cove.
Yeah, and that was his 5th try at the Kaweah Bar, and he got the job done. A lucky lifetime start number 5. In that impressive performance. That was a great race.
Yeah, those are good points right there. And, it's got to feel just a little bit extra special when you've been trying to get that Kaweah Bar for several years. And maybe after attempt number 3 or 4, you thought, hey, well, maybe it isn't meant to be. But Cattail Cove made it happen there in try number 5. So speaking of Cattail Coast, here is race number 3 on Saturday. And sure enough, Nymph-like, heavily favored, previously owned, by the way, by Newcomb Racing. Joshua Thomas, Chisel and Chrome, the Paint Horse, Quickie Shine, Hechicera, Special Batch, who ran in a Grade 1 Brad McKenzie race earlier this meet. And there is Cattail Coast, owned by Newcomb Racing, trained by Juan Alama, Martina Arriaga, the same connections. Exiting the El Primero del Año Derby, running 5th to Duda Cartel. And that was a really solid field. Nice race there for Cattail Coast in the El Primero del Año Derby. However, let's turn back one race earlier, race number 2. Michael, you have a selection in this race.
Yes. As Chris would probably say, a trouble-prone runner deluxe. This Willoughby All-Red filly went to London from the dam of London Toby and Toby Sis. Has been on my watch list since day one. She debuted back in May. She had a couple of dreadful early experiences as far as bad luck is concerned, with some powerful gallop outs that really caught my eye. And she resurfaced for her 3-year-old debut and got whacked in the side of the head. It was a heavy bump leaving the gate a few weeks ago.
Oh, we got that race right here ready to play. And just a reminder, Michael, where is she going to break from?
She's from gate 1, and ironically, the bump doesn't come from the next door neighbor. It comes from the number 3 horse.
The other runners in this race want to send her to France or Germany, the way they're going to break into her. So let's see the replay here of Went to London, breaking from post number 1.
And the bump comes from the number 3 horse, because the 2 is slowly away. Went to London breaks outward slightly from gate 1. The 3 comes in and just knocks the side of her face. It was a heavy bump. You can see at the gap there, she's in line with the inside rail, and she really wasn't persevered with. There wasn't much point. The jockey just didn't do a lot on her for the rest of that race. But the gallop out was good, as is typically the case for this filly. She has caught my eye on numerous occasions across her 6-start career, and one of these days things will fall into place for her. I have no question about her ability. And this comeback race, her 3-year-old debut we're showing you, was 300 yards. She gets to 350 on Saturday night, which will be advantageous, and I think it makes her very tough to beat.
Yeah. That was her first race at 104 nights, and obviously needed a fair.
So that's going to be...
And she was locked and loaded. Good job there, Michael. This horse has got the ability. She's been a horse to watch for me as well. A long shot W. The ability's there. Just needs a decent getaway.
Yeah, she's had one start at 350 for a long shot second, and then she went to 400 yards in a futurity trial in November and was midfield in a trial. Then cut back to 300, which was never going to suit her, and then she went for a layoff. She's just working her way back now into form and fitness, and she has a lot more to offer, much more to give than what you can see on paper so far, where she just has a couple of minor placings from half a dozen starts. But as the distances increase, and I'd like to see her from an even wider gate, but at least she gets away from the inside. She's in post position 4. There is a comeback colt next to her, Mastros, number 5, whose dam won 5 races, including a stakes. And this horse actually made my watch list on debut, has run only 4 times, hasn't been out since October, qualified to the PCQHRA Breeders' Futurity. And the connections are hot. Armando Viramontes had a double last Sunday, I think. Lindolfo Diaz had a winner last weekend. I think they might have combined, actually, for a win. In fact, Orlando, that might have been the horse you picked on the radio on Sunday morning, if I'm not mistaken, at a pretty good price, 5 or 6 to 1.
Actually, it was in that race. It was actually in that race, if I remember correctly, and I actually picked the Jimmy Glenn horse in that race, but it was that similar price. Yeah.
Right.
No,
okay.
Fine. I wish I had picked that winner. That was a really nice performance there.
Well, I'm sure your most recent winner is far more recent than mine, because nobody's more ice cold than I am. I need to chalk up a big fat W sometime sooner rather than later. I hope it comes with Went to London on Saturday in race 2. The 5 horse certainly has plenty of upside, but Went to London has that little bit of recency with the 1 comeback race this year, and I've got to give her the edge because I've just been waiting for her to get into a 350 maiden. I think this is a suitable spot.
Yeah, I've been following the Dave Weaver tip of bet a little to win a lot, and so far I've lost a lot. But when I switch it around and go with a favorite, I have a little bit better luck. But hey, what's the fun in that, right? We're trying to find a long shot winner. So yeah, nice selection there, Michael. It's a nice field, good mischief, and accusation both coming into this race after running the El Primero del Año Derby. Well, we talked a little bit about race number 3, and we're going to talk a little bit more about it because this is the race in which Chris Wade, has a selection. Chris?
Yeah, I'm going to give a look to a horse that is one of my give him one more chance horses, the 7 Special Badge. This horse was a trouble-prone runner deluxe prior to the last effort. Trouble in many a race last time. We thought the horse had a look if this horse could just get away clean and was into a non-winners of 3. Now, this is a non-winners of 2 event, so it was above her this horse's conditions last time. It ran a very good race to be a pretty good second and earned a pretty good figure on my charts. So this horse, 3rd time off for the layoff, the 3rd time of the racing season. This horse just needs a clean getaway to be a big factor there at 5 to 2 and pay us back to keep giving this horse chance after chance after chance. But ran a good race last time. It gets non-winners of 3 and it gets non-winners of 2 tonight. Just needs another clean getaway to be a big factor for all the money there in race number 3.
Okay, you want to see that replay, Chris? From April the 4th. Actually ran a pretty race there.
Yeah, sure, a good race from post number 6.
Again, this is a race that the won in a special batch. There left the gate from post number 6, Chris.
Yeah, she broke pretty good for her. Not as good as a couple of her rivals, but ran very well. Was in her handship throughout. Ran a very good race to be a pretty good 3rd with all factored in. As noted, was coming out of a pretty strong race prior and was up against a grade 1 company prior. But this horse was in against non-winners of 3. Now against non-winners of 2. So a decent getaway. The horse kind of back bobbled away from the gate and kind of lugged in a little bit, but put forth a nice one away and finished pretty good for 3rd and earned a pretty good figure on my charts now with a good number and a drop in the non-winners of 2. Big look there at 5 to 2 be a big factor with just a decent getaway. Puts the horse in the mix there in race number 3.
Yeah, this horse, when we were talking about the Brad McKenzie, this horse was trying to take a big apple, a battle of a big apple, because he was going against horses like Favorite Joe's Hawk and Lethal Cowboy 1, 2, 3. Yeah. And this horse had not done much going into the race, if you want to be perfectly honest. But I gave it a try. Ran 9th. There was some trouble to this horse, and the start before that, the Ransom ran a nice 3rd, and the start after that allowance race against Kip Cocinero ran 3rd again. So let's see if this time around picks up a long-awaited 2nd victory here at Los Al. So let's go ahead and bring the past performances up. I just wanted to talk a little bit more about one of the 2-year-olds that will be racing here on Saturday night. Like I mentioned, we have a lot of 2-year-old races. There's race number 4. This is actually a claiming race here. And I think the outside horses are going to have a little bit of an edge. They should both have probably the best trips in this race. Race number 5.
Orlando, that'd be the first claiming race of the season,
Sure.
right? For the 2-year-olds.
Yes.
Race 4.
Yeah. Oh boy, might be a hot play here because of the experience. We've been talking about how a lot of these horses with experience tend to benefit. The 3 Flying Fast 1, 2, 3 is the favorite. Had a tremendous gate work, really good gate work. Here's race number 6. And this is a pretty solid group of runners. Rationale was actually scratched last week, comes back and gives it another try here to start for the first time. But the one that I wanted to mention is just Lonely at Night. And you start watching all these gate works, and every once in a while you see something that you don't see all the time. So just wanted to share that real quick. Let me bring that workout up. And again, now we're looking at Lonely at Night. Gonna start from the inside post, and the time was pretty solid. 12:05 was this work back on April the 22nd, but could have been faster, I think. Look how well the horse breaks. The jockey right here is hand riding here, and then all of a sudden you can see other riders he kind of stops. The horse continues nicely. But what ends up happening here is he loses his stirrup, and you can kind of see the rider's motion right there. And if you look closely, you can see his foot is no longer on the stirrup. But as you can see, Lonely at Night still win us a good 12.5. May have probably gone 12.4 if the rider would have continued riding the horse, just like he was during the first part of the race. So
it can't be very comfortable for the jockey.
No, I don't think so.
That's a lot of bounce in there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that is race number 6, Lonely at Night. So let's go ahead and take a look now at the feature race. And the feature race here, let me bring that back up, is, of course, race number 9. We have 9 races on the card. And I'll go through the field here. There it is, the La Pacifica Handicap for 3-year-old fillies. The lady is a vamp at 10-1. At this time last year, we were super excited because she had been working lights out, getting ready for her 2-year-old campaign. Has posted some really nice efforts. She's a 3-time winner, but hasn't just done in the big races. Still looking for a stakes win, more than capable, 10-1. Russ Tickle Knockout, 2-1, and certainly one of the ones to beat here after running a super nice third. But as the favorite, Beautiful was just so good in the Los Alamitos Oaks. Actually, a half of this field is exiting the Los Alamitos Oaks. There's Fancy Up, who ran in the Oaks as well, finished 8th. 12-1 for Irving Lara and Cesar D'Alba. Irving Lara, of course, had a huge night on Kindergarten Trials night. Shiny New finished 7th in the Oaks. That was the first time she's ever finished lower than 3rd. 5-1. French Valley ran 4th in the Oaks, also 5-1. There's Tequila Walk When I Walk at 3-1. And unfortunately, she was scratched out of the Oaks. Before that, ran 2nd in her trial as the favorite. But great to see her back. Worked on April the 22nd. Very good work at 18:30, and now she's here in the La Pacifica. Slated to shine at 12-1. And in the lead and leaving the cartel. So 5 of them are coming out of the Oaks. The other 5 have won an allowance race this year. Los Alamitos. So it's a solid group. They've either won an allowance this year or are have qualified to the Grade 1 Los Alamitos Oaks. Michael, your thoughts of the La Pacifica?
Well, Rustical Knockout was my selection on the preview show for the Oaks. And she ran very well. She was close, not quite good enough. She had every chance. I've probably got to revisit her. I know she had gate 7 of 9 in the Oaks and couldn't quite get it done with a clean trip. And now she has post position 2. But she is a filly who seems to be able to fire from any post position. She won from the far outside on debut at Remington. That was a grade 2 futurity trial that she debuted in. She's won from gate 5 of 10 at Remington, from gate 4 of 8 at Will Rogers Downs. She's won at all sorts of racetracks, from wide, from a couple of middle post positions, and she won her Los Alamitos debut in the Oaks Trail from post position 2, which is what she has on Saturday night in the La Pacifica. So for her, I'm not too worried about the post position, and because I was with her last time, I feel like I should be on board again. It's a good field. I could easily see a very logical argument for quite a few others, and it's good to see that gate work for Walk When I Walk at 350 since she last raced. I've always had a high opinion of this filly. She'll be mighty tough to beat. But I'm going to pick Rustical Knockout number 2.
Chris, which way are you going in the La Pacifica?
Pretty much the same way. She's a hard knocker deluxe. She's just quick, and she runs her race no matter of the post, no matter of the venue, and she gives you 100% every single time. It ran a very good race last time, come up a little bit short, but still on a very good figure, and Justine always gets this one out of the gate, so definitely the one to beat there in the La Pacifica. She's my top choice as well. And of course, Shiny New lost all chance last time, and Walk When I Walk, that workout gives her a look there as well to get her a piece of the pie at the very least. But Rustical Knockout would be our top choice there at La Pacifica.
Yeah, those are my top 2 picks, Rustical Knockout and Shiny New as well. They're the big names, and they should do good work here in the running of the La Pacifica. We're going to take a quick break. Again, 6:50 p.m. is first post on Saturday night. We'll be right back to talk about Sunday's card.
Big time nighttime pools and great racing always at Los Alamitos, with huge early pick 4 pools at the track of sunsets and stars, with 187,000 on March 15th and a late pick 4 pool of nearly 160,000. Our pick 6 pool on Sunday, April 19th, was nearly 140,000. Don't miss our first futurity final of the meet, the Robert A. Dare Kindergarten Futurity on Sunday, May 10th. Big time nighttime pools and great racing always at Los Alamitos.
So every Saturday and Sunday night after the last race here at Los Alamitos, go hang out at Burghart's, having food specials, $5 draft beers, and keep the fun continuing here at Los Alamitos at Burghart's.
Don't mind if I do.
For sure, Michael. Let's bring up the Sunday card. Now, we just drew this card. The first 5 races, just kind of glancing through it, are all around the turn. Race number 2. Race 3 is a 1,000-yard allowance race, a nice purse, $14,500. Few recognizable names. Race number 4 as well. The Key is Unity. We've seen the Key is Unity. Rachel's Gig is a recent winner. Tascadero ran not too long ago, April 18th. Conejo Malo, the experienced runner here. Warm-hearted. Here's race number 5, another allowance event, and some sharp performers. Mischief River, Nice winner on March 15th, won by 3/4 lengths for James Flynn Jr. Alphabetical order. The horse of the meet last year around the turn. Had a big season last year. Won 6 out of 10 starts. He's the headliner in the races around the turn. All the grades for trainer Jerry Hollendorfer is back. Won here at Los Al. His last out February 21st. Then we get to some quarter horse races, a few more 2-year-old events. Mr. Leo running the trials to the kindergarten. A couple of more names that we've seen already. On One Enemy 123, AJ Billion-Stein ran second to AP Eagleheart, who went on to qualify to the kindergarten. Race 8, another quarter horse race, and then we get to the feature event of the night, the Miss Princess Handicap, a $50,000 Grade 3 event. Let's just kind of talk about the field very quickly. I know we just saw this card come up, so I haven't really studied it, but we know these horses. We've seen these horses many times. The one is Better Off Friends. Veteran performer, has run 41 times, and we've seen her in a lot of stakes races here at Los Alamitos. Val Baby coming off of a really good effort, been running second against SG Jacob J in the James Smith. Racy favorite, 4-year-old mare with a couple of wins, including and also qualified to the Super Derby, I should say. How about the champion? Finally, Shakin Goin On, finally back here at Los Al. We've been waiting and anticipating her return to the races. On a 3-race win streak, won 6 out of 8 last year. On the way to being named PCQHRA champion horse of the year and AQHA champion 3-year-old filly. BJK's Zickfield Follies, another runner that has been multiple stakes placed here at Los Al. Quick she is, an allowance performer, several seconds of win at the allowance level, now taking on some top talented stakes runners. And on the outside, AJ Flawless won the Lobo Derby 2 outings ago in Albuquerque, and now in her first start here at Los Al, ran 4th. No, I'm sorry. There has not raced here at Los Al. We've seen this name, though. Was she scratched? She must have been scratched. I remember seeing her.
Yeah.
That was, but she is coming back here to make her debut. Has not raced since November the 8th at Zia Park. AJ Flawless. Of course, we got to talk about Shakin Goin On. Just a superstar. And we've been hoping to see her run, maybe like in races like the Virginia Highland and others. But she made us wait a little bit, but I'm sure the wait will be worth it. Michael, Shakin Goin On.
Yeah, well, she had a big campaign into the end of last season, so good on Eddie Willis for not wanting to rush her back too early in 2026. And this is shaping up as a big weekend for Willis and Kleber, given that they have Rustical Knockout, the favourite, in the 3-year-old filly stakes race on Saturday night. They are a good chance of sweeping the stakes double. We don't have a morning line yet. We're recording this late on a Thursday afternoon, and we're just getting our first look at the Sunday night fields, but I think it's safe to assume that Mr. Burgart's going to make Shakin Goin On the favourite. And it's just going to be terrific to see her back in action. She was almost flawless at Los Alamitos last year.
Yeah, and coming off a couple of turn and work. So they've kept her active. So it's not like if she has to shake off the cobwebs too much. She's had a couple of turn and works, a 12-4 on March 17th and a 12-5 on April the 8th. Like you mentioned, Michael, she was just such a such a tremendous, consistent runner last year. When she broke and took the lead, it was just about over every time. Chris?
Pretty much the same thing. Everything goes through Shakin Goin On. She, like you said, she's won 3 in a row, 8 lifetime starts at Los Alamitos, 6 victories, 1 third-place finish. The only time she didn't hit the boards when she leaned back and reared at the start. So the ability is there. Everything goes through her. She'll be on the edge. I'm looking to her left. I'm looking for her, looking to the right, saying, where's the wire? She's definitely the one to beat, and definitely will be the favorite without a shadow of a doubt there on Ed Burgart's morning line.
She won the Los Alamitos Oaks last year, and then she beat older mares in the Miss Princess. So she is actually back to defend her title in the Miss Princess. Shakin Goin On now as a 4-year-old herself. So that's a look at the Miss Princess Handicap here, the main event on Sunday night. Of course, this is a Kentucky Derby week, and Los Alamitos will be open for Kentucky Oaks. 9 a.m. in the grandstand, 10 a.m. for Kentucky Oaks Day on Friday in the Investors Club and Burgart's, and a little change of schedule for Saturday. Will be open at 7:30 a.m. on Saturday for Kentucky Derby Day. The first simulcast race from Churchill is actually at 8 a.m. Chris, last week you had a huge week picking winners.
Yeah, our numbers are pretty good there. On our numbers, we had a nice winner at Sam Houston off the breeding and the good work at the Rotama Park. We had that one 3-1 was a gift, paid $5 a place as well. Then on Sunday, our numbers were pretty good. We hit both pick fours, much like you did, Mr. Orlando. Congratulations on your selections. Our 2 pick 4 plays on Sunday were $24 investments and come back 97 and 143. We only had the 2 top winners, but we had 6 runner-up, our 6 second choices to get the job done. So still put the numbers together, and they were looking pretty good last weekend, and see if we can continue on. And let's see if I can get a preview show selection horse home. It has been a while since I did the dance a little bit there in the preview show. Horse has been having trouble, and our horse was broke good last time. When the horse broke good on the rail, I thought the horse had a chance, but it was kind of one pace down the lane. And our second choice rolled on by to get the victory there in that preview show selection last week. We'll see if we can get it done this week, though.
We're very fortunate to have some outstanding handicappers. Yourself, George Duarte, Joey Quarters. He's kind of on a roll there. Is that on page 22? He always gives us a selection. And his horses, I think I've won, I want to say 9 out of the last 13 or 15 racing days. His horse selection on that page has crossed the wire in first place. So he's doing very, very well. Michael, you and I were looking for a radio play winner. I think we're going to get it done this week.
Fingers are crossed. And some toes. We need it, mate.
That's for sure. So once again, gates will open at 7:30 a.m. on Derby Day, and come out and enjoy a great day of racing from around the country here at Los Alamitos and the Investors Club Burgart's, or just hang out in the grandstand and enjoy the racing action there. First post on Saturday is 6:50 p.m. with the running of the La Pacifica Handicap. Thanks everyone for joining us, and have a great rest of your day. Goodbye, everybody.
Big time nighttime pools and great racing always at Los Alamitos, with huge early pick 4 pools at the track of Sunsets and Stars, with 187,000 on March 15th and a late pick 4 pool of nearly 160,000. Our pick 6 pool on Sunday, April 19th, was nearly 140,000. Don't miss our first futurity final of the meet, the Robert A. Dare Kindergarten Futurity on Sunday, May 10th. Big time nighttime pools and great racing always at Los Alamitos.